Things are developing very rapidly in a very important, well, depending who you ask, very important context on social media and in the coaching world, Alana Banks.
Hmm. We
And
are.
we already talked about this subject a few weeks ago, but so much has changed and so much is new and different that even though it's only been a few weeks, it behooves us to revisit this very important subject.
Hmm. Did we talk about this already? I don't think we
I'm
have.
going to answer your question with a very provocative word, and that provocative word is probably. Didn't we do an episode about AI, artificial intelligence, chat GPT?
We did, but it was more about embracing it, less about like tactically how we can move ahead and use it and providing ideas to use it to make money in our coaching business.
Today we're going to talk about AI and making money with AI. And it's
Yep.
not so much about people being alarmed that AI is here, as was like the opinion of AI, if we did talk about it on an earlier episode, which I think we did.
Yeah, we
But yeah,
did.
now I think we're pretty much past that. Now the people who refuse to use it, they're good. They've refused. They're not using it. Their life has continued. The people who are using it, and people have kind of found their comfort zone for what they want to do with it and what they don't want to do with it. And people are figuring that out. So today, how can we, for those that want to use it, which is a lot of people, by the way, how can we use it in our coaching business in a way that's easy and profitable and serves us well and serves our clients well?
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's lots of opportunities. So that's why I think it's good that we talk about it.
And we're going to
Uh,
give some specific examples.
exactly. Yeah. So you're
Alana
going to
has a
want to tune in to the end because you're going to be able to walk away from this episode with things you can start creating like today that are going to help you in your business and potentially earn you a little bit of money.
right now,
Yeah.
or a lot of money, or
Or a
all the,
lot.
I don't know.
Or make you so famous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Would you rather be famous or rich?
Well, I mean, I think rich
Yeah, me too.
because
Me
I like
too.
my privacy. I like my life. I don't want to have to walk around and be noticed.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind the fame, but if I have to choose one or the other, rich or famous, I would choose rich.
Yeah.
But certainly, all things being equal, I would rather be richly famous or famously rich.
Hmm.
Richly famous, famously rich, richly famous. I'd rather be rich. I would rather be rich and famous.
Yeah. There we go.
Rich and famous. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So before we get into that, just a reminder, Alana Banks is doing really cool stuff. She's making huge waves in the palm reading niche these days,
Yeah.
changing lives one palm at a time.
Hmm.
Alana.
I am. Yeah. I'm in Southampton, Ontario right now, which is a very small town up north, kind of near Owen Sound. But I'm reading palms up here. And I am also going to parties and reading palms, which is really fun. But if any of you listening are in the Greater Toronto area, I'll be back in September and I'm already starting to book parties for September, October. So if that's something that you're interested in, feel free to reach out to me. Also, if you're a coach and you're looking for interesting things to bring to an event that you might be holding, or maybe you host retreats, I'm also available for that to come in as like an additional thing that you offer. So reach out to me at my Instagram at Alana Banks Coaching to start a conversation about that. And Ryan, you're up to big things too these days, which is awesome with the Simple Social Sanctuary.
The Simple Social Sanctuary has been steadily growing since I launched it a couple of months ago. Consistent new members coming in every week. The reviews are overwhelmingly positive. People are loving it. If you're a coach or you're a hypnotist or you're an NLP person and you want to number one, improve your relationship with social media so that you actually enjoy it, love it, and allow it to come easily. And if you want very easy to apply tools and techniques to be successful in communicating your message and attracting clients on social media, come join the Simple Social Sanctuary today,
Yeah.
right now. Do it.
Do it.
Cool. Okay, we should talk about that stuff we were going to talk about.
Yeah,
today.
let's talk about it. I'm excited.
By
I
the way,
just also wanted to mention this is episode 16.
What animal is this?
That is, oh, I know what that is.
For those of you that are not seeing the video, I've got a video of a very cute little animal on my phone screen that I'm showing to Alana Banks, and it's adorable. Yes, episode 16.
It looks like a little Ewok.
It's not an Ewok. That's definitely not a real thing, but something along those lines. Okay, episode 16.
Yeah.
AI, money, cute little animals that we don't know what they're called. What is that thing?
I know what it's called, and it's going to bother me now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Cool. Well, let's carry on.
A chinchilla.
That
is
not
a chinchilla?
That is not a chinchilla. If you think that's what a chinchilla is, you have no idea what a chinchilla is.
No, I do, because I've seen them before. I've seen a chinchilla.
This is not. No, this is not.
No? Okay.
No, not even close. Not even close.
Now I've got a Google image, a chinchilla.
Yeah, a chinchilla is a totally different thing. Chinchilla is also great. We should talk about AI.
Yes.
Okay. And you have a list.
Oh, yeah. It looks nothing like a chinchilla. Okay.
Yeah, it's nothing like a chinchilla. You have a list of things people can do with AI today to move the needle, to make some money, to put more value in the hands of their clients. And by the way, we're not going to tell you today that AI is going to replace your coaching, it's going to replace your high value content, nothing like that. The meat and potatoes or the bread and butter of your service, I would not recommend replacing with any kind of AI augmented stuff. But for sort of the stuff in the periphery, the structural stuff of your marketing, which we're going to give you the specific examples, this can be really, 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 really helpful. Things like making lead magnets, checklists, instructions, and Alana has a really cool list of stuff. So let's just go through it. What should people be doing today to put more value in the hands of their potential clients, knowing this will help them become clients?
So one of the first things that you can do with AI is create a workbook. I really like a workbook. You know what I mean? And I think your clients like them too, if they're anything like me. So you can use AI to create a little workbook for your coaching program, for your group coaching program, if you're hosting retreats. And basically, if you haven't used ChatGPT or any kind of like AI platforms, you can start off by introducing yourself and just saying, like, for example, my name is Alana Banks and I am a connection coach. I help my clients feel more connected to their relationships, to themselves, to their career, to their health, their life force energy. So you can literally like introduce yourself to ChatGPT and start a conversation with it so that it understands like who it's interacting with. And then from there, you can say like, I really want to create a workbook for my clients. This is what I cover in my sessions with my clients, and like list out the pillars or the specific things that you teach. And then from there, you can ask it to create like an outline for a workbook, right? And then it's going to create some things. And then what you do at that point, like Ryan was saying at the top of the episode, is you don't necessarily just take that and run with it, right? You edit it, you analyze it, and you pick out the things that you really like. And then you talk back to ChatGPT and you're like, oh, I love this and this and this. Can you elaborate on these points, right? And like you continue to have this dialogue. And then before you know it, you've basically got like a really great outline for a workbook that then you can create, or you can go section by section and then have ChatGPT build out those sections for you. and then edit and iterate from there. So there's one idea in terms of just, sitting down for a morning with your coffee and basically creating a really cool workbook that you can use as a, what do you call it? Like a resource, right? For your clients while they're moving through your program. Because we know that, when you're working with people, when you're teaching people, some people are auditory, some people are visual, right? So for the visual people, a workbook is really important because they like to be able to make notes. They like to be able to read stuff. They like to be able to like do activities. And it's just like a nice little additional thing to have for your clients. You could also just sell it as a standalone product too. So say, for example, you have people who are interacting with you, but they haven't signed up for your group program. They haven't signed up to be a one-on-one. But maybe they want to like check out what you're all about. You could just sell that as a one-off thing, as sort of like an introduction to your coaching. But, the people who pay for your one-on-one or group get that as a resource, as part of the package.
Absolutely.
So there we go.
Okay.
That's the workbook.
Workbook. Got it. Workbook. Yeah, workbooks are good. As Alana said, take whatever, and you can go back and forth with the AI robot, see what it gives you, ask it to make changes, ask it to make revisions, whatever, and then let that be the content. Great. What else can we do? What else can we make in like ChatGPT or one of these AIs?
Another thing you can do is write an ebook. And this is a great lead magnet, right? It might not be something that you're going to sell necessarily, but you can write an ebook. So a few months ago, I was working on a audio program for awakening your sensuality through the five senses. And honestly, in one evening, I wrote an entire ebook that I was going to use as a add-on. I haven't done anything with it yet. It's just literally still sitting in my computer. But in like maybe 2 hours, wrote out an entire ebook about how to awaken the five senses and like awaken your sensuality using ChatGPT. I got it to create an outline for me. And then from there, I went like kind of section by section and just asked it to write an introduction. And then I asked it to like build out on, the first point, the second point, the third point, write a conclusion. And then before I knew it, I had I think it was like a 40-page ebook on awakening your five senses to be the most sensual you or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's literally just sitting on my desktop and I could put it out there tomorrow. So that's another idea. Maybe not so much for making money, but definitely a lead magnet to get people interested in like an upcoming program that you might have or coaching or, just getting yourself out there. And it also helps with your prestige.
Your prestige. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Never hurts to have a book or an ebook out there if you can get it done and, get it done well, quickly, then do it, right? Some people are against that. Some people are against the books with the AI. And I think it really depends on what is the intent of the book. You can get some really good content made, especially if it's an ebook, lead magnet, or even a longer book. My advice would be give it a try and see what you can come up with. And remember, like the onus is still on the human to make sure the content is correct and accurate and in your voice and reflects your actual wisdom, right?
Yeah.
Don't just blindly generate stuff and pump it out, right? Because people will know.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the message here is, and we talked about this before we hit record, the message isn't get AI to do all of this work for you. You know what I mean? But it's like, it gives you a jump start. So in the past, to write an ebook might have taken you a long time to come up with the outline and, write out each section and do the research. Whereas now it's a fast track or like a shortcut to, getting you well underway to creating the ebook or the workbook. It's kind of taking out all the, some people might think boring bits of like starting that type of a project, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like you get a first draft, you know what I mean? And it's so much easier, in my opinion, to work from a first draft than it is to create the first draft,
Yeah,
depending
that's
on
a
how you work.
really good point. For a lot of people, the getting started is the hardest part, and then once you have something, it's a lot easier to just jump off from there. I
Yeah.
really agree.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. What else we got? So we got workbook, we got ebook. I think checklists. I think checklists are really good. To use as a lead magnet or a value giveaway or just as something for your clients or prospective clients. If you know whatever niche you work in, feed the AI, your background, what's your niche, give it a general sense of like, what you want and get it to generate a checklist and then just, remove the items that don't make sense, keep the items that do make sense. These can be really valuable, right?
Yeah.
If you think about what I'm specializing in right now, which is social media training for coaches and hypnotists and online service providers like that. Yeah, I mean, I could manually write out a list of, let's say, like important daily tasks to maintain a strong social media presence. But important daily tasks to do that are so universal and so commonly well known that if I ask the chat GPT to do that, there's a good chance that like 9 out of the 10 items on the list are going to be relevant and correct, or maybe even 10 of
Exactly.
them.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you change the oil on a car? Yeah, I could go and ask a mechanic and get an answer from years and years of wisdom and experience, but I probably would get the exact same answer from chat gpt. It's like, turn off the engine, remove the oil plug, let it drain, remove the oil filter, install a new oil. Like there's some information that is standard enough and universal enough that you don't necessarily need to just write it out yourself. But on the other hand, you have clients or followers or an audience that wants that information, wants it from you. And for them, they don't care if you wrote it yourself manually or you had it generated and vetted it to make sure it was correct and then gave it to them.
Yeah.
For them, what's important is that it came from you and you're vouching for it, right?
Yeah. And you're going to like put it into Canva and make it look all nice and, add
Not
your
me, plain black and white PDF. I did wasn't really a lead magnet because I didn't even collect leads, but on Facebook the other day, I made a post being like, here's a list of 90 things, do one per day to bolster your social media presence. I wrote the list and it was an ugly PDF, black and white, just like, and like 200 people asked for it, something like that. Like a
Great.
lot of people wanted it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you don't even have to make it pretty. There we go. There's proof right there. It can just be a Word document.
It's probably better to make it pretty, do as I say, not as I do, but
yeah. Well, and that's already going to kind of like an established community too that knows you, likes you, trusts you. So getting like a black and white PDF from you is probably no big deal. But if you're using it to attract, right, like lead magnet, you probably want to like jazz it up a bit.
Yeah. I'm using it to repel. Okay. Anyways, all right. So checklist is a good one.
Yeah, checklist is good.
Or step-by-step guide.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is a good one. Another one, and this isn't so much for putting out there to make money, but it could also be creating like an onboarding manual for your clients. So pulling together like an agreement, like working together agreement, and then like what to expect, kind of like rules or, doesn't necessarily have to be rules, but sort of like what to expect working together, what your expectations are from your clients, how they should be showing up to the calls, all that kind of stuff. You can create a little welcome package for your clients using AI to make them feel special, right? When they sign on with you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's a really nice thing that you can do. And you can use AI or ChatGPT to create the first draft for you.
Yeah. Yep. Love that.
Yeah.
Cool. What else we got?
What else did we have on that list? I didn't write anything down. I just have it on a list in my head.
Just from your brain, right?
Well, one idea that I have, I'm just going to share because this is kind of fun, but I'm a huge collector of cards, right? Like oracle cards and tarot decks. And I've always in the back of my mind had this kind of dream of creating my own deck. And so recently I've been thinking, I wonder if I could like engage with ChatGPT to, feed my ideas about what I've been thinking and create my own deck of cards and start writing what those cards might be and like the little manual that it comes with and all that stuff. And even I think now with ChatGPT, right, like you can create images as well. So I wouldn't even have to necessarily hire an artist to collaborate with. I could just get digital images created.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of an idea that I've got percolating in my mind at the moment.
Yeah.
About how I could use ChatGPT to have I don't know, like an add-on to my business.
Yeah. That, you reminded me of something important there. The power of AI to generate content for you is not limited to text, right?
Yeah.
It could be images as well. Very soon it'll be audio and video, and it kind of already is. There's some AI for generating audio and video already. But like Midjourney is really powerful for generating beautiful artwork and pictures and drawings and stuff like that.
What did you say? Midjourney?
Midjourney, MIDJOURNEY.
Oh, I didn't know about this.
Yeah, it's I think it's not quite as simple and straightforward to use as like ChatGPT is.
Okay.
I've played around with it a little, but not a lot so far, but I've been keeping an eye on the results that people are producing with it, the images. And, rather than taking stock images, which are often very tired and, people are making unique, one-of-a-kind imagery in Midjourney, and it's very nice and very captivating and very beautiful. So that might be something for people to, hop on and do research and maybe play around with as well. If you're on a visual platform.
Yeah, I've played around with it a bit on Canva. Like you can use their AI tool to create images. But I mean, I wouldn't want to use those necessarily for cards because you want the cards to look really beautiful.
Yeah.
So who knows? The technology might not be there yet for me. I might have to hire like an artist, but definitely to get started on, get the first draft of my deck created. We'll see.
Yeah. Boom. Cool.
It's out there now in the podcast land.
It's out there. If you want to order one of these decks, just send Alana Banks a message. Oh, by the way, somebody finally messaged me. Actually, no, now it's like 2 or 3 people. Every week I say, hey, let me know your thoughts. Let me know this. Tell me if you're listening to the podcast, shoot me a message. Every week I say that. Yeah. And we have hundreds and hundreds of downloads on our episodes, and nobody ever messages me. But one person messaged me last week. And then a few weeks ago, somebody messaged me, one of our diehard fans. So we're now up to like 2 or 3 people who have messaged me with their thoughts about the podcast. So for those of you that have done so, thank you. I very much appreciate that. And I've had pleasant conversations with everybody who has.
I like it. I mean, it's nice to hear feedback, right? Because then we know that what we're doing every week is like actually worth it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. The other thing we can generate with AI, Q&A.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So good.
Q&A.
That's so
Q&A
good.
Big one. Ask it, like, what are the common questions that people in this niche have?
Yeah.
And you can either just take the questions and make your own answers and distribute that as a FAQ Q&A.
Yeah.
Or you can generate answers too and maybe use that for content or give it out or put it on your website, whatever. That's another thing.
Yeah, I love that.
And I want to like put a little bow on this by talking about all of this stuff. How does this equal more money? Because the episode is about how can this turn into sales, right? Well, every little piece of content that you put on social media, that you put out into the world, whether it explicitly invites people to sign up for your paid service or not, is an offer. Every little thing you do and say on social media is an offer to engage with you. And people either accept that offer or they don't. And here's the thing, the best marketers in the world will tell you like 1 out of 10 of the offers that I make winds up being highly successful. So, the more you're offering people value, the more you're offering people content, the more you're creating an opportunity for people to get involved with you in whatever level. If we look at the laws of statistics and we think about that ratio of all the content I put out, even if 100% of it is great, only X% is going to actually lead to a sale for me. Well, the more you're putting out there, as long as it's good quality, the more opportunities you're creating to hit the right thing that the right person needs to hear or consume or understand, so that they realize, oh yeah, there's value here for me, right?
Totally. Yeah.
It is, and I'm not saying, and by no means, I would never tell anybody you need to spend hours every day producing content and this, that, and the other. No. What I'm saying is there's a tremendous amount of value in creating these opportunities.
Yeah, there really is.
And now more than ever, with AI and these tools that give you, what is basically an ethical and efficient shortcut, you can create more of these opportunities. And as long as you're thoughtful about it and genuine about it, it's in the best interest of your clients, and it's in your best interest too.
Yeah. That just makes me think of this. There's a tarot card reader that I love. His name's Chris Corsini. And if you're into tarot cards or astrology, you probably know him if you're listening. But he doesn't really do one-on-one readings anymore, but he puts out tons of value by doing monthly tarot readings per sign on Instagram. But then he creates these like astrological calendars and things you can buy that provide a lot of value. So he kind of has this balance between like free content and then like paid things, like actual physical things that you can download that provide tons of value. And he's built his business completely doing this. Like he has like hundreds of thousands of followers, but he's able to keep his prices pretty low because he has such a big following, because he's provided so much amazing value over the last few years. So I just wanted to bring up that example because that just reinforces the point that Ryan was making around like putting the value out there. Like you don't have to sell this stuff for a lot of money, right? Like the workbook could be $7, $10, right?
Yeah.
These downloadable PDFs or manuals or ebooks or something like that, they can be cheap, but and sometimes they can be free too. But it's going to lead to more stuff for you in the end, because once people start downloading all this value, then whatever else you put out there, they're going to be like, oh, that I really love this person, so like I want to buy everything that this person is putting out there.
Yeah, I would agree. And here's the thing, 90% of people that are aware of you and like your service won't ever become a paying client. Mm-hmm. And if all they do is consume your free content and get value from it, well, good. That's good value. That's good karma for you. And maybe they'll send their friends who will become paying clients. And that, the minority of people who consume your great value will become a paying client. And that's great. That like, this is the math in business, right?
Yeah. Of
all the people in the world who love Porsche automobiles, what percentage of them buy a Porsche? Probably less than 1%. But that doesn't mean Porsche doesn't benefit massively from, sponsoring races and putting out, all this inspiring content and all these different things that they do to build up, positive perception and put value into people's lives, right?
Yeah.
So learn from Porsche.
Yeah.
I don't know if I use that. Like that's literally every company, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that message really is like, your goal shouldn't be to make money. When you're running this type of a business, when you're like a people helper or, a service provider, or you're coaching, I mean, obviously you have to make a living, but the goal should really be to help people and provide value. And from there, the money is the byproduct, right?
Yeah.
The more value you put out there, the more content you create, the more stuff that you put out there to help people, then obviously, like you were saying, the statistics, the money will come.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily term it as money should not be the goal. I think it should be a goal for sure. You should
A
definitely
goal.
have
Yeah.
in your mind, you want to be compensated for the services that you're providing. I get what you're saying, Alana. I know what you're saying. You're saying, but I want to be clear about that. But yeah, I mean, putting value out there that the world needs and wants, if you do that well and you do it consistently, it almost becomes an inevitability that you're going to be compensated for it, assuming that you remember to ask people to buy what you're offering, right?
Right.
A lot of people put out tons and tons of value and they forget to put a price tag on something, and they forget to say, I'm offering this thing, I think you should buy it, world. And they're leaving tons of money on the table. Don't make that mistake.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think we covered.
Yeah, I think we're good. I mean, let us know. Send us a message.
By the way,
tips helped you.
I figured out the name of the animal.
Oh yeah, what is it?
It's the loris, Loris.
Oh, interesting.
I didn't even know.
Me neither. I've never heard of that animal, but I've seen that animal. Where have I seen
that
it?
animal? I see it around town. I see it at the gas station, buying a Snickers. They're everywhere, these guys, these lorises, or these lori, or I don't even know. Did you know
very
that?
Cute.
Maybe it's like a moose, that the plural of moose is moose. I see loris everywhere I go. Anyways, very cute, adorable little critter.
Mm-hmm. I wonder where they originate.
They
don't look.
They remind me of lemurs, so maybe they're from like the Madagascar region.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm guessing. So, audience, first of all, if you know what a loris is, please message me. If you know where they originate, please message Alana or myself.
We must know.
We must know. I also would like, and while we're on the topic, don't keep wild animals in captivity, ladies and gentlemen. Let them be free. That's my very few things I take a hard line opinion on, especially on this podcast. Wild animals should be wild. That's my hard line.
They should be. And I think that animal is very cute, but I feel like it's very vicious. Something tells me that it's not. It has
venom. It is venomous. Yeah.
It's venomous?
It's venomous. I noticed that during my research for this episode when I was researching adorable animals and the loris. Yeah. I don't know if the venom is harmful to humans.
Yeah.
I didn't really get that far into it.
Like it does look like a little Ewok.
It does look like a little Ewok, fictional character from Star Wars, or fictional species from Star Wars. Adorable, which I think unfortunately to the detriment maybe of this animal, because people want to take them and have them as pets and like keep them in captivity. Don't do that, folks.
Mm-mm. It looks like it would just chomp your hand off.
Maybe.
Even though it's adorably cute.
Adorable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we should spread that rumor so that people are less likely to
free the lori.
Free the lorises. Yeah. Anyways, the one that in that video, maybe it's at a zoo or a sanctuary or something, hopefully. Mm-hmm. But even zoos, I'm not crazy about zoos, actually.
Maybe the simple social sanctuary. Maybe that should become your mascot. A little loris.
A loris? Maybe. Mascot. Yeah. I don't know. I'll think about it. Do I need a mascot? Is that missing?
I don't know. It might be. I can just see it. Like the simple social sanctuary with this little loris like peeking up. Like, hi guys, join the club.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cute.
I'll think about it. That might be a good idea. Mm-hmm. That might put butts in the seats. Cool. Okay. That's it for today.
All right. That's it. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everyone.